a Libyan militant accused of being a ringleader of the 2012 Benghazi attacks on U.S. facilities, was convicted on terrorism charges Tuesday in the assaults that killed U.S. Ambassador J. Christopher Stevens and 3 other Americans. But the jury found the militant not guilty of the most serious of the charges, including murder. The case was seen as a test of detention and interrogation policies developed under the Obama administration to capture terror suspects overseas for criminal trial, with the result likely to factor into assessments of the suitability of civilian courts for terrorism prosecutions. The jury in Washington, D.C., deliberated for 5 days after a 7-week trial before convicting Ahmed Abu Khattala, 46, in the attack the night of September 11 at a U.S. diplomatic mission that killed Stevens and State Department employee Sean Smith in a fire, and in a second attack that took place before dawn on September 12 on a nearby CIA annex, where CIA contractors Tyrone S. Woods and Glenn Doherty were killed by mortar strikes. The jury acquitted Abu Khattala of all but 4 of the 18 charges against him. At trial, his defense team said Abu Khattala was drawn to the fiery scene in his hometown as a bystander. They questioned the credibility of 3 Libyan witnesses who testified they saw or heard Abu Khattala take steps to plan, execute, or claim responsibility for the attacks. Meet Ahmed Abu Khattala, an alleged ringleader of the Benghazi attack. Prosecutors presented what they called indisputable records linking the times of calls on Abu Khattala's cell phone and surveillance video from the diplomatic mission attack that they said showed he was at least a key plotter. Abu Khattala was a leader in an extremist brigade that was part of a militia that sought to establish strict Islamist rule in post-revolutionary Libya. U.S. intelligence assessments have reported that several groups were involved in the attacks, including Abu Khattala's brigade and the militia. Stevens and Smith died of smoke inhalation after militants overran the diplomatic compound and set fire to the diplomatic villa. Woods and Doherty were killed on a rooftop at the CIA annex in a pre-dawn mortar strike. He was captured in June 2014 by U.S. commandos and interrogated and transported for 13 days aboard a Navy warship to the United States. 13 days in the history of the accused leader of the Benghazi attacks. On board, he was questioned by 2 teams, the first working in a classified operation to extract intelligence and the second a separate FBI team that collected evidence for his trial under the legal safeguards provided defendants in civilian court. He was charged with aiding or abetting the killing of the 4 Americans and wounding 2 other Americans, providing or conspiring to provide material support and resources to terrorists that resulted in death, destruction of government buildings and property, and a firearms violation. Abu Khattala has been the only person brought to court in attacks that saw the compound overrun. However, on October